Hey everyone, and welcome to Bills Talk Online. I'm your host Mike Martinez,
And I'm your co-host Spencer Tobin.
coming to you live from South Station Studios in downtown Buffalo. Tonight, we're going to be discussing the the fucking. Tonight we're going to be discussing the draft that just went by, along with.
Want me to cut this or what?
No, keep going.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, it's just
Shits and giggles.
Okay, I'm back. Tonight we're going to be discussing the draft, and I think we're going to take a little bit of time to talk about Deflategate and Brady's deflated balls. And also, I'd like to discuss a little bit, if it's okay with you, Spencer, the Tyrod Taylor situation and his role in the team.
That's fine with me because I thought you were going to start talking about my wife's cooking and I'd be a dead man.
So would I if I had to taste it. Okay, here we go. We're talking about the draft a little bit. Buffalo, we all know, did not have a first-round pick today, but we did make some good picks. With the second-round pick, with the 50th overall pick, we picked up cornerback Ron Darby. As far as Darby goes, a lot of people are back and forth, but he's one of the better cornerbacks in the draft. He was only thrown to 1 out of every 10 pass attempts, which is the fewest amount of times that anyone has ever been thrown to in college football.
Because they're scared.
Because they're scared, exactly. Mm-hmm. Act up, get smacked up. With the third-round pick, they decided to go with an offensive guard. You know we need an offensive guard, man. John Miller, also going to be going for a starting role this year.
Well, I'll tell you, speaking of the offensive lineman, a lot of people were expecting the Bills to take a lineman with the second pick. Instead, they took the cornerback, which made a lot of people angry. They wanted a QB, they wanted an offensive lineman. But honestly, let's be truthful. There really weren't that many quarterbacks in the draft. Do you know why?
Why?
Well, as you alluded to earlier, how many quarterbacks were taken in this draft compared to...
Well, there were 6 total quarterbacks taken in the draft, which were the fewest amount of quarterbacks taken since 1961. It would have been a reach to go for a quarterback. I know Grayson looked very promising. I know Petty looked very promising. A lot of people wanted them, but it would have been a desperate move.
And a project.
Exactly. And we already have enough projects in the quarterback position. They took the best man for the best player at the position, I feel.
They did.
With the cornerback.
So many linemen have been taken at that point already. There was a run on them, and we would have got some not as good quality as compared to what Darby brings to the table.
We would have got a third, fourth tier tackle in the second round, and that's unacceptable.
That's right.
You got to go for, at least Darby is a good second tier cornerback, and which with that move, that means that Corey Graham can shift into safety.
He sure can, and that's something he's used to. He's also played under Rex before back in Baltimore, so he's used to the system. He's used to moving around, and he's a guy who can teach Darby the ropes and help him transition into the NFL and playing that cornerback position as well.
Yes. We went on from there to Carlos Williams, who's basically, I feel, is going to be a special teams type player. I don't see too much coming out of him, in all honesty.
Not with a crowded backfield like we have.
Exactly. He's not going to get any playing time. Tony Stewart, I can't lie, I didn't do too much homework on the guy.
Yeah?
He's a filler.
He's a race car driver, right?
No, that's
not.
the word.
Oh, that's the wrong guy. Okay.
Yeah, that's the wrong guy. Yeah,
that's a bad joke.
The one person that does look promising is Nick O'Leary, tight end, picked in the 6th round. Greg Roman loves the dual tight end sets. He loves working multiple formations with the tight ends. He loves working multiple. We'll just talk. We're practicing. Say, stop taking the table, bitch.
Stop taking the table, bitch.
All right. So we're having a technical difficulty here because our furniture repair specialist, Carlos, has yet to get to the screws. But anyway, back to it. With Nick O'Leary, he's gonna get good playing time in. He's not the dazzling type of receiver. He's an up and down type of guy, but he has good hands. Did you want to add anything as far as Nick O'Leary goes?
No, honestly, I'm Honestly, didn't do a lot of homework on him either. I usually pay attention to the first, second, third rounds at most. After that, it really starts to fall off. And if you do get a guy who comes in and make a difference for you, it's just you're getting a diamond in the rough, and it's a rare occasion.
Well, speaking of diamonds in the rough, we got Desmond Lewis, who's a steal in the 7th round. I can't believe he fell that far. A wide receiver out of I forget whatever state, but we'll have that for the next show. We'll definitely work on those things. But he's a receiver. He's a 3rd or 4th round draft prospect who fell all the way to the 7th round. He's 6'1". Has a great big hands, good hands, and he's fast.
Yeah.
And Buffalo definitely needed some height in the receiver position. We have a lot of short receivers.
He's the guy who can go up and get that ball for us.
Yeah.
Not to mention, I mean, we already got a lot of receivers, but you never know. Injuries can come into play.
Yes.
Somebody just might go into a slump. So it's good to have some good depth there, especially when you get a steal like that.
Yeah,
What the hell was that?
Oh, we got a question from a viewer.
Oh, we got a caller.
They said, other than quarterback, what do you feel is the weakest position on the current roster?
Punter. I'm joking. No, our weakest
He's just
spot,
not very strong, is he?
Next is probably going to be, if not cornerback before the draft, or depending on how Darby turns out, some would say probably offensive line, because as we alluded to last episode, it doesn't matter who's throwing the ball for you. If you can't protect them, what's the point?
exactly, and that's why I know there's a lot of variables going on with Lael Collins, but with the legal issues and questioning of the death of the mother of his child, he is a top 15. Was slated in the top 15 of the draft.
Yeah.
So, if they do decide to take the chance on this young man, and he is what's the word I'm looking for?
Guilty, innocent.
Innocent of all the of the charge, or not even the charge of the questions surrounding him, then it will be like we never lost our first round.
Yeah, it's a great pick, I think, to go with that, because this guy is someone who, yeah, he is in some trouble, but he's only wanted for some questioning at this point. He's not a suspect, so why not take a chance on him? If it turns out that, hey, he's in some trouble, well, you really didn't lose too much anyways. There's always next year's draft, and we took this guy late, right? Or
We haven't even picked.
We haven't picked him up, but
he went undrafted.
he went undrafted. That's right.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So we're just talking to him at this point. Rex is not saying too much about it, from what I understand. But if you, what do you got to lose? What do you got to lose?
Exactly. He's not only Buffalo's not the only team coveting him. There's
No.
a few other teams that are looking at him very strongly. He's an offensive tackle that'll definitely solidify the line. And in all honesty, I think our line is a lot better than people are making them out to be, with the addition of.
Sounds like we have another caller.
Okay, what's being asked is, these guys made picks last week. They want to know, after the draft, do you feel like any of your picks, the record, the final record the season's record, has that been altered? You both picked 12-4 to different routes. But do you feel now has been altered since, the draft?
I was thinking about that earlier today, and I do think there's a lot of changes. Some teams had a really strong draft. I was actually talking to Mike earlier today. The Jets, people are not even noticing them, but they made so many strong moves in free agency. I'd say second to only the Bills. And then with this draft that they had, they're going to be a lot tougher than people think. They might even contend for a playoff spot, for a wild card, because they're going to surprise a lot of people. They're going to, lay low at first. People are going to overlook them on the schedule. But then wham, look what they did. They got a Ryan Fitzpatrick, who can play a starting role as a quarterback. He's probably better than Matt Castle, so that's not a bad move. You went and solidified your defensive your DBs by getting, of course, and I just literally said their names. You got Darrelle Revis, you got Antonio Cromartie. Mm-hmm. Those two are a dynamic duo back there. And then also, they went ahead and got Brandon Marshall. Okay, so now they got a good wide receiver, and they went ahead and drafted, who I thought was a great pick, Devin Smith. This guy runs a 4.4. He is a deep threat. He's 6'1". I got him down as 6'1", I believe, and 190 pounds. A little light, but he doesn't have to be huge, because he's a deep guy. He's going to just blast past people, catch the deep balls. The word on him is it seems like every time he catches the ball, he was going ahead for a score. And one last thing is the Jets made, I thought, the biggest steal of the draft. Sorry to try to trump you here, but they got who, in my opinion, was the best player in the draft. I'm sorry that the 2 first picks are quarterbacks who I think could be bust.
Yes.
The real gem of this draft, the diamond of all, the goal everybody should have went after was Leonard Williams. This guy is a freak of a defensive end. He's 6'5", 302 pounds, and the guy's just going to be a beast right from the get-go. I think he's going to be forced to reckon with if we don't have a good offensive line here in Buffalo.
I don't want to hear no more about these goddamn Jets.
I hate them too, but man, they impressed me. They impressed me with their
I
moves.
don't want to hear no more about these Jets. All right, we're gonna put a mud hole in them. I firmly believe it. Like I say, okay. I'm gonna entertain it for a minute.
Okay.
They did have a good draft. They definitely did. They made some really strong moves in free agency. Although the secondary that they picked out was probably about 125 years old, but they can still play.
Yeah.
Okay. And the defensive line, yes, they did make some big moves. Both them and Miami made big moves on the defensive line because we're in the AFC East, and who were the Super Bowl winners?
Patriots.
The Patriots. And what do we have to do? Everybody got to get to the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so everybody bulked up on defensive line. But that being said, I still got us beaten in both games.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I'm not changing that.
I'm still going with my split of the series with the Jets.
Oh well, we'll talk about that then after the season, won't we? But
We
as
will.
for now, my record remains the same. You know, any more questions have come in from the crowd as of yet? No? Well, then let's talk about my diamond in the rough.
Okay.
Where's he at? Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor, nothing but great things. Nothing but I think he is really impressing everyone. He's throwing the ball deep. He's mobile. He's strong. He's smart. Everybody likes him.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm hearing, the hold your ear to the ground and you hear some things, people's opinions, and everybody's saying, don't be surprised if this guy's your starter, whether it's day one or some way early through the season, because he's really going to be able to press people. EJ, I think we see what we're getting with him. He's got great potential, but he unfortunately has been inconsistent with his passes. But again, they did try to make him a pocket quarterback. And once he got hurt, they said, "Hey, stay in the pocket," and that's not his style. That's not what how he learned to play ball. So I really, honestly think that Tyrod Taylor could steal the show here. Who knows?
I think Tyrod Taylor has a very good chance. He's 6'1", not the tallest, 208, not the biggest, but he's a strong guy, and he honestly had the opportunity to do what we were trying to do with DJ. He was not thrusted into a starting position. He had 4 years to learn behind a very good quarterback and a very good scheme, and went to the Super Bowl, and they won.
Worked for Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly. So he had the time to learn. So now let's see if, with the skills that he has, he's learned how to slow the game down and play the game of football. And if he's been able to do that, I think we've got a winner here.
My only fear about Tyrod Taylor is the fact that he is a lighter quarterback. He's just over 200 pounds, and he's 6'1". What does that mean? Well, when you're running out of the pocket a lot, or if your offensive line can't protect you, you're going to be vulnerable. You're going to get hurt. If you get hurt, you can't play a full season. You're nothing more than another RG3. We don't want that either. So I hope the guy's durable.
RG3, that little... This is a family show. I can't say that word. But, yeah. No, I understand exactly what you're saying. But a lot of the quarterbacks in this league, how much is Drew Brees? About the same. How about Russell Wilson? He's in the same. He's not too much. He doesn't weigh too much more.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to be a smart quarterback. You can't be a reckless running quarterback like a Michael Vick who doesn't know how to slide, who doesn't know how to go out of bounds. You're going to sit there and subject yourself to the tackle, you're going to get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that goes without saying. You know, if the blitz is coming, coverage breaks down, there's nobody open, get the yards you can, get the hell down. It's real simple. It's not rocket science.
Now, Mike, I'm going to say the word pickles, and I'm going to actually go to our next small mini segment here called "Are You Out of Your Mind?" Well, we got two people here, Mike, who just might be. One, the Titans GM, draft day. Eagles call him Chip Kelly. I want to give you Sam Bradford. I want to give you 2 first-round picks, and I'm going to give you a third-round pick, all for your second-round pick, so they can get Mariota.
What did they say?
They said, "Hell no."
Are you out of your mind right now?
Absolutely.
Well, I don't know what you think about Mariota, but something's telling me he's gonna be a bust.
Yep, absolutely. I don't see him doing anything.
Oh man.
That's the bus sound right there. Now, the second guy on our list who is "Are you out of your mind?" Robert Kraft of the New England Patriots. Shortly after the everything came to fruition with the Inflategate, or Deflategate, I should say, Robert Kraft insisted that the league owes him an apology. Well, now we have the results of the investigation by Ted Wells. I apologize. Ted Wells saying that there's a very good chance that with the information he found that yes, there was indeed some breaking of the rules going on, and yet Robert Kraft is sticking by his guns there. He's saying, I still want that apology, even though it's pretty evident that there was some tampering going on.
I must say, what do you think he is?
Out of his mind,
You
brah.
must be out your mind. Yeah, sometimes these entitled people, they just think that because they wear a big flashy ring that it is what they say it is. Unfortunately, it's not. But that's a good segue into what we were going to talk about next, Deflategate. I can't say this guy's name, Jaruski. How do you say it?
Jastremski.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, the assistant to McNally. God, these guys going back and forth texting.
Yeah, throwing themselves under the bus.
Unbelievable. Maybe they'll bring a smaller needle. What was that they said? A smaller needle?
Well, at first they're saying, Brady better pay us something, merchandise, something. Help us out. Give us a little something here. Because what was going on initially, I guess the officials, they would check the balls to make sure they were the right, PSI.
Did they make him cough?
Yeah, they did. They would
Okay.
put 2 fingers on each side of the balls. And then absolutely after that, when no one was looking, here comes McNally. There you go. He's letting out the air.
Letting out the air.
Yeah, and they kind of just kind of had too much going on with the text messages and phone calls, and Brady knew.
I heard they said something to the effect of, Brady likes his balls deflated.
Well, that's what Brady said. He's like, hey, I just need to throw a little better. Apparently, Brady doesn't have big hands like some of the other quarterbacks there, so it's a little better grip on the ball when he does that. And you know what? I think I was noticing when they were showing his hand on the camera, the ring, his Super Bowl ring, the shape of the stone in there actually was the shape of an asterisk.
So are you saying Brady can't eat at Burger King?
No, Brady cannot eat a Burger King.
Yeah, they're also saying that so Brady might just be getting some consequences and is possibly going to get suspended for this, along with a big asterisk, like on his ring, is going to be next to his name, going further into the Hall of Fame and everything like that. And we got Spygate, we got Deflategate, and Belichick keeps walking away scot-free.
Oh yeah, he's definitely got a big load of denial going on, and somehow keeping his hands clean. He's letting Brady get run over the bus. Back and forth the bus goes. Round and round the wheels go.
Actually, to correct myself, with Spygate, if I'm not mistaken, he was fined somewhere about a ridiculous amount of money. It was expensive, but he did get fined for that. Him with the organization.
Sometimes I wonder though if this whole thing between Spygate and between Deflategate, is that going to cost Brady the gold jacket when he retires someday? Is that going to keep him out of the Hall of Fame?
I don't know if Pete Rose can bet outside, bet on baseball, but not on his team and never get in. I don't think Brady deserves to get in.
No, I don't know. I mean, sure, your numbers are great, but after all these years of allegedly cheating, who knows what else they didn't get caught for that might have given the edge to get Brady those rings.
I definitely agree with you on that. You know what? I cannot say I have any sympathy for these guys. Definitely no big fan of the
I got-
Patriots.
Got a call in.
Oh,
They want to know like who do you feel needs to be penalized and what should be the penalty paid this season? Should it be Belichick? Should it be Brady? Or the other two guys, McNally and Drewski, whatever his name was?
I feel it's everybody who was obviously had the evidence against them should definitely. But sometimes I really feel that they should find a way to make an example by maybe, hey, Bob Kraft, you're getting fined too for as long as this happened under your ownership. Bill Belichick, how do you not know what your personnel is doing? You hired these guys, you bring them in, you talk to these guys every single day. You don't know this is going on? Maybe they should get a small slap on the wrist too.
I think I was speaking earlier. I think compared to the bounty scenario, remember that going with the Saints and
Yeah.
and their coach got suspended the whole
The
season.
whole year.
So I
Couldn't
don't
even come
see
in the building.
I don't see why that type of punishment should have carried over to
Wouldn't be bad.
to the coach
Losing
of the
Brady for a
of the
couple
Patriots.
games wouldn't be bad either.
Yep.
no, I think politics is going to play a lot more into it. The New England has one of the biggest merchandise demographics in all of the NFL, and I think that's going to play a very big part in the decisions that are made because the NFL will lose a lot of money if these people are suspended.
Absolutely. One thing I want to end us with, the last subject is, who do you think, after the draft, after free agency is really coming to a wind down here, and we're going to the OTAs, mini camps, that's all coming up this month. Who do you, on paper, think is the top dog in the NFL? Who do you think is going to win it all and just cause ruckus to make it hard for anybody to even challenge them?
Well, I know who your pick is, and I'm going to have to not agree with you. It's a hard one. It's a hard one. There's been a lot of good teams, but it only takes, one thing I've noticed about the NFL of late, it only takes a couple good moves to go from a loser to a Super Bowl champion. And at 12 and 4, making it a bye into the playoffs this year, running the table in the playoffs, the Bills.
I hope you're right, and I hope I'm wrong, because my pick is the Colts. They made some nasty moves in the free agency as well, bringing in Frank Gore for the running game. They lacked that for, the last 2 or 3 seasons, or a good running back. They also, even though these guys are on the downside of their careers, can still bring in Andre Johnson. The guy's still a beast. Not to mention, they still have T.Y. Hilton. Excuse me. Colby Fleener is a tight end who plays well. And they've also got, they've drafted, with this guy's, I can't remember his name, but I'll tell you what, they also drafted a nice wide receiver as well. Not to mention Montclair is in there as a wide receiver too, so they've got a lot of weapons there for Andrew Luck, who is probably one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the league this year with some other guys getting older. I think he's really coming to his own. This team, the Colts, I think are the favorite to win the Super Bowl.
Well, you know what? Then why isn't all of the NFL talking about them being the most exciting team this year?
Well,
I think I keep hearing the Buffalo Bills name everywhere. Most improved in the AFC, most exciting in the AFC East. One of the best drafts considering what we had. And the list goes on. Sports Illustrated giving them compliments. Fox Sports giving them compliments. I don't hear nothing about these Colts.
Well, it's kudos the Bills deserve, and I'll tell you why. The old ownership would not make moves like this. People are shocked. Rex Ryan instantly brings credibility and makes us relevant.
Yes.
It brings out the spotlight. So people are noticing any moves we make a lot more closely because we're under the microscope. So it's a huge change to go from 0 to hero with the Bills, and people want to wow about that because, come on, everybody loves the Bills. They're all closet Bills fans, but they're finally going to come out and jump on the bandwagon. But the thing is, the Colts expect them to be good. So these moves are going to make a good team good. They're going to make a good team better. So it's not as big of an improvement, so people really notice as much, and that's going to be their downfall because they're going to think, all right, we got the Colts, we know how to beat them. We watched them last year, but it's going to be a different Colts team coming out. They're going to be more powerful, more dangerous.
Yeah, but I also think the Bills team that we had last year, even with the hurt offensive line, was a better team than we knew that they could be because of that farce of a coach that we had. How many games did we win due to poor coaching?
Good point. It's a good point. We lost a few. I predicted last year the Bills were going to win 10 games. They won 9, and I think if we had the better coaching, I think they allowed our offensive coordinator to make the plays and calls he wanted to do. I think Marone got a little conservative sometimes, and ultimately, I don't think he was. I think he needed a few more years under his belt to be a good head coach. I think he was okay, but he really kind of made his own bed, so he's not going to get a coaching job for a long time as far as the head coaching position goes.
Well, we won 9, we lost 1, which had nothing to do with them, with Bryce Brown fumbling when he was running into the darn end zone against Kansas City Chiefs. So that was an automatic 10. And then the couple that the coaches just blew because of bad decisions, bad personnel management, and bad game planning. We could have easily been an 11 and 5, 12 and 4 team last year.
Mm-hmm.
Now you take that along with all the new players that we brought in and the new coaches that we brought in, Greg Roman and Rex Ryan, and what they're going to do on the offensive side of the ball. And then join that with Sammy Watkins, Robert Woods, Percy Harvin, Marquise Goodwin. I'm missing another wide receiver that I really want to say, but it's not coming to my head. McCoy, Fred Jackson, Charles Clay. Who are you going to cover? Who are you going to cover? Who are you going to double team?
It's going to be tough, and as long as we can get a quarterback to get us there, that's fine. We just got a guy who has to get the ball out to the receivers, because if they can't, we're not going anywhere no matter how many weapons we have.
And don't forget, our defense got better.
Yep.
Okay, I got a question. These guys talked about an AFC, the Colts. You didn't bring up maybe who's going to be playing the Colts in that Super Bowl.
Sure. Well, that's going to be tough because the Colts are AFC, Bills are AFC. So it should be a Bills-Colts AFC championship game. I think we can kind of at least agree on that.
I agree with that one. Now we
Okay.
got to go for the NFC.
The NFC.
The Bears.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Seattle went back. That they were the winner of that Super Bowl. I don't know what and
Pete
who
Carroll.
in their right mind. I know it's Pete Carroll, but I don't know what he was smoking, what he was drinking, what he was doing on the sideline to call that play. You got Marshawn Lynch. You ride your damn horse. Period. Sometimes a coach can actually outsmart themselves, and I think that's what he did in that situation.
I think it was just the mental game, Belichick, just not doing anything about it, really, just going along with what you're saying, just really messed with Pete Carroll. I just think that's what happened. He beat him without doing anything and put him into a ride the horse, but he decided to throw on the 2-yard line, and I just think he allowed Pete Carroll to beat himself. That's my 2 cents.
It's good. It's good strategy. It sounds like a Belichick mindfuck.
Yeah.
But
Don't worry, we could beat that out later.
They definitely allowed the Patriots in the second half to come back. They had this game on lock, but they still had the game. The game was still theirs to win.
well, that aside, I think Seattle, they could go. They should be a favorite to go, but I think Green Bay is still going to be a tough team to beat. There's somebody everybody forgets about, but once the playoffs are all around, they oh yeah, Aaron Rodgers. He's pretty darn good. He's going to be tough. Also out of the NFC, the Cardinals. They made the playoffs. They're making improvements. So why not? Why not do it again and maybe beat the other team this time? Who was it that they lost to again? Was it Seattle? I think they lost in the last few minutes too, right?
I think so.
Yeah, it was. So they pretty much had them beat. They had it wrapped up. So why can't the Cardinals do it again? They're a tough team to beat. Their defense is strong. And their running back, who they get? Did they get somebody in free agency or they draft somebody?
I know they were targeting Adrian Peterson.
That's
but I don't
right. They
know
were trying to get that. That's
yeah,
right.
I think that would push them.
That would put them right over the edge.
Yeah.
Push them over the
I think
edge.
that'll definitely make them even the NFC West champs.
Yeah. Nothing against Andre Ellington. He's decent, but if you can get a stud like that, you're
Exactly.
stable.
What about the Cowboys? What do you think about the Cowboys?
Cowboys, we wanted to touch on this too. Where's the running back? Let's lose Murray and not draft a running back? What were they
I
thinking?
think it's a systematic scenario, and I think Darren McFadden is going to do just fine. he's a good running back. I mean,
He is, but he can't stay healthy.
Well, you see, you're dealing with the team from the Raiders, where, for a long time, it's just they're not structuring things right. I think he's gonna be fine. I mean, I'm gonna stand by that. And then, at the end of the season, you guys can point at my face or point at your face and see who's right or wrong. I just think it's gonna be fine.
Well, we're in a pretty small room. I don't want to point too many things in each other's
Okay.
faces here. How about this? What about the fact that CJ2K wants to go to Dallas?
I think I personally coming from over here.
I think that line is set up for running backs to do good, just like the old Denver days. That's why they didn't address it. I think they feel that they're going to plug in running back A, and running back A is just going to do the job. So, I mean, you probably send Fred Jackson, he probably have his career year over there, even at his age. I mean, I think it's set up for a running back to go there and just lead the league right now. So the next couple years even.
Well, whoever they get at running back, he better be a damn good one. He better not get hurt, because at the end of the day, you got the choke artist throwing the damn ball.
What was his name?
Tony Brokeback Romo. The guy, he has so much potential, but he always implodes it when he's needed the most. I've seen it time and time and time again. Maybe there's a special reason why the owner's name?
Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones keeps him around.
Yeah, maybe there's a special reason why Jerry Jones keeps him around.
What do you think about the NFC South? I just think all around this year, I think it's kind of weak out of the whole NFC as a whole. But just I'm not a big fan of I'm a fan of the Panthers as a whole, but this team that's been structured, I'm not a big fan of them, and I don't know if you're following me, but that seems like it would be the team that's coming out the South. But I'm hoping that they get.
Probably from a lack of competition. I mean, I don't be too surprised if Atlanta has a better record this year. They actually drafted some defensive players this year, so they actually recognize, hey, our defense is not up to par. Their offense, if they can get a good tight end in there, has not been as powerful since Tony Gonzalez left. And then of course you got to talk about New Orleans.
Yeah, I was just about to bring them up. What do you think? They same power as they've been since losing Graham, or you think that's going to affect them?
I think he's going to be missed. Why not? I mean, you got Drew Brees. Drew Brees can throw to anybody and get the ball in there. That's why they've rotated wide receivers year after year after year after year. It doesn't matter who's playing wide receiver for them, how good or bad. Brees is going to put up some points and some wins.
Yeah, but first I'm gonna touch on the Carolina Panthers thing. Everybody likes Cam Newton. I like Cam Newton, but when it breaks down, he's a 500 quarterback. He's one game over 500 in the 61 games that he's played. So, and he's not.
He's hot and cold.
He's hot and cold. He's hit or miss. There's no stability there. And as far as the Saints go, Drew Brees, good quarterback. Heck of a quarterback. I like him a lot. But he's getting old. That's why they drafted a quarterback.
It's a good point. He does need an heir, and it might be an understudy program for a few years, like Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, like we talked about there, Tyrod Taylor and Joe Flacco. Who knows? They got to do something, because the only constant player that's been on the field for them all these years for their run has been Drew Brees.
I don't know the exact stats on it offhand. I don't have my laptop with me to look it up. But Jimmy Graham was one of the main targets. So you cannot say that man will not be missed. And not only with the catches, the little dump offs pass with the rack yards after it. The run after the catch, very important. Jimmy Graham is a heck of a tight end.
That's why they brought in C.J. Spiller. That guy can catch and that guy can run. He didn't have the opportunities here in Buffalo because I don't think they used him right. I talked to a lot of people who think he was underutilized. A lot of people want to keep him. But
it could be a mimic like the when Reggie Bush got drafted.
Reggie Bush,
yeah,
Darren Sproles. He can fill that same role. I think Sproles
didn't
would have
Reggie
a
Bush
better
break
year.
like 100 his rookie year receptions or something like that, or 91? I think.
I
the
think
number?
so. He really
it
was
like
more of a
91.
receiving
I can
running
see
back,
that.
if
I can
anything.
see that for CJ this year.
Mhm.
Coming out the backfield, Breeze hitting that. Yeah. So kicking it over, we know your opinion of the AFC South was Colts. What about you, Mike? You think the Colts take the South as well?
Yes.
How about, all right, because I want to get that since we already mentioned them, but how about the AFC West? Since I think we all see the deterioration of Peyton Manning. Who do you think is taking the AFC West this year?
Well, I mean, you got to watch out for the Chiefs. They're very competitive. Jamal Charles can control a game himself. As long as Alex Smith stays healthy, he brings a solid game. He doesn't really let the team down. He just does his thing. He doesn't do anything extra. He just manages the team. That's fine. He's not making mistakes. Just give the ball to your running back. They obviously Dwayne Bowe was supposed to be a stud. They got rid of him because he wasn't. I believe they drafted a guy as well, a good receiver there, from what I understand. I can't remember his name. I should have researched that.
Did they bring in Macklin too?
They brought in
Yep.
Jeremy Macklin,
Yep.
and so I mean that's the thing though. You still got Alex Smith throwing to him, so he's not going to utilize. He's got to be able to utilize the talents that they're throwing at him. But as long as he can just play his solid game and keep giving Jamal Charles the opportunities to make huge plays, that team's always going to be a threat.
You know, honestly, it really don't matter to me because no one's getting past. If they'll be lucky, whoever takes the division, or they're not going to even get to the playoffs, or they get to the playoffs, they're going to get knocked out in the first round. It's going to be ridiculous.
It's a good chance. I mean,
no one strong coming out of that division.
How about the North? AFC North.
AFC North. Well, I feel the Steelers are still rebuilding. I mean, they're competitive, but it's just this slow deteriorating denial that they need to rebuild.
Yeah.
They just think they're still that competitive team. But they got to just say, hey, we got to start. Hey, Polamalu's done. You know, we're losing all these guys. We got a great running back here in. Help me out. Who's their main running back?
Bell.
Yes, Bell. So he's something they can build around. You still got Ben for a few years. He was dinged up earlier in his career. He's managed to stay fairly healthy.
Yeah.
So I think he might have 4 or 5 years left. But they need to do other things. They need to get that defense going again. They got to get some really good receivers in there. They're not weak at receiver, but I mean when they lost Emmanuel, they lost a deep threat when he went to Denver. Emmanuel Sanders, I'm sorry, and so they really have to, instead of just plugging the holes in the boat that's sinking, I think they just need to tear it down and rebuild around their running back.
I think the Browns do something this year, to be quite honest.
Mhm.
I think with the falling of Pittsburgh, which is my choice, but as far as a fan favorite out of that division, but as being a football analyst, I think the Browns secretly or quietly, let me say, take that, maybe entering into the third or fourth position into the playoffs, wild card, holding the championship with that division. I think the Bengals, they've been to they've been there too many times. Not saying that you shouldn't go there because you've been there too many times. I just think it's a cycle. And you lose something and rebuilding. And the Ravens, I think, still in rebuilding in a form of its own since the Super Bowl. I still think they're going to be competitive, and I think that division may do exactly what they did last year, where they're all having basically a 500-plus record and staying really close to each other. But I think Cleveland might just be able to get past because they got a lot of young talent that they're on the uprise, and every one of those other 3 teams in that division are kind of old and deteriorating down.
I think Cleveland has a very good chance of taking over in that division as long as the quarterback isn't Johnny Manchina.
I gotta strongly disagree with both of you. I think Cleveland's the pits right now. I love Mike Pettin. I think he's going to do good things in the future, in the very near future. Right now, I think there's too many questions at quarterback. More questions than the Bills have. More questions than the Titans might even have. I don't think Manziel's the answer. I think he's just going to be the next Tim Tebow. He was just a hot story, and then he just kind of fizzles out. I think they got too many things to address on both sides of the ball to be a strong competitor this year. They're running back by committee. They need a lead guy. Somebody's got to step up. I know Crowell started to step up, and Isaiah Crowell kind of fell back. You got West in there, who was also a rookie last year. They failed with who was the other running back they had in there. They ended up trading. I should know I had him on my fantasy team. But either way, they've got to get somebody who's definitely just going to grab the bull by the horns, run it. They're going to be the kind of team who needs a strong running back like the Chiefs, a Jamal Charles, and just get a quarterback in there who can manage. but they don't have it yet.
I agree. Pickles.
Pickles.
That's good stuff, guys.
Anything else we want to mention tonight?
I'm good.
I'd like to thank everybody for joining us today for Bills Talk Online. I'm Mike Martinez,
I'm Spencer Tobin.
and our man in the background, Mr. 1RD, Ralph Diaz, along with Carlos. What's your last name, Carlos?
The Bull Torres.
Carlos de Bull Torres. Bring it to you live from downtown Buffalo, folks. I'm out of here.
All right.